Test. Test. Test, test, test. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing. Okay. What is the question? Yes, I'm alive. Of course I'm alive. But there's only 11 people here. What happened to the rest? Okay, let me just talk a bit about reliability so we don't waste each other's time. Tomorrow they'll ask you about reliability. Okay, the thing is that just now in the video you saw a perfect example. So tomorrow when you see the reliability question, your first instinct should be do the inference first. Okay, your first instinct should be inference first. Okay, so what do I mean by inference first? I mean you have to tell me what is the thing talking about. As in, what are you checking reliability? What is the issue that you are checking reliability? Are you checking whether the source is reliable in telling me that the PAP is a good government? Are you telling me, is it reliable in telling me the PAP is a capable government? So that's the question. So start with not reliable. Not reliable. Answer the question first. The source is not reliable in telling me that. Okay, then your inference. Okay, how do I know that the source tells me this? Because the source says what? Quotation. This means. So what does this mean? Yes, this is a basic inference. The only thing different you're doing is you're telling me it is not reliable in telling me about this inference. Okay? There's nothing on the screen. Okay, now there's something on the screen. Okay, so infer first paragraph. Okay, next paragraph. If there's a picture, then you say the source shows. Okay, let me reset this thing to see if it can be faster. Okay, now it should be faster already. Okay, can see. Okay, so the source, infer the source first. That's step one. Infer infer the source first for your reliability. Okay, but also answer the question. Okay, the source is not reliable in telling me that what is your inference. Okay, how do you know the source? Because the source says, or if it's a picture, then you say the source shows. Then you must tell me everything about the picture from top to bottom, left to right, the whole picture. Please describe everything and infer everything. Not just one part of the picture, but all parts of the picture. Okay, all parts of the picture. Okay, then after that you explain. This means that next paragraph, then you talk about the provenance. So you say, you always start with however. Okay, please start with however, because you're talking about reliability. So you must say however. Example. Okay, the picture example. Okay, let's say I have a picture here. Okay, I have one guy here who is very happy. Okay, because he has a lot of money. Okay, I have another guy here who is also very happy. And why is he very happy? Because he has a lot of time. Okay, so your inference is that people are very happy about life because life gives them opportunities to do what they want to do, which is seen by the time. It also gives them the ability to get what they want to get based on the money they see here. So this is what I mean by you must explain everything you see in the picture. You cannot just base it on this guy and say life is good because you have a lot of money and you can buy a lot of things. That will give you a half mark inference. The full inference will say life is good as it provides both money and time. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Use the whole picture and explain. Okay, use the whole picture and explain. Okay, let me give you another example, a better example. If let's say you see, let's say this is the picture. Okay, example. Let me try and think. Okay, never mind, I can't think. But anyway, just remember that you have to use the whole picture to do your inference. Okay, so that's step one. Okay, back to reliability. For reliability, you must understand that you have to ensure, right, that you write the word however in your second paragraph. Okay, so you say however, the source is not reliable in telling me. Then you repeat what is the inference again. Okay, please repeat the inference for the second paragraph. not reliable in telling me about this inference about the issue. Okay, why so? Because, and this is quite standard, because it has an agenda or a motive. Okay, that is why you have these things. That is why it's not reliable, because of the agenda, because of the motive. Okay, your next step is to tell me, how do you know there's an agenda and a motive? So you say this is as the source. Then you tell me more about the source. Use the provenance. Was produced by who? Just copy the provenance. At when? And as such, I would expect, because of the date of the source, I would expect that the author would have either a positive or negative, right, view, opinion of the subject. Okay, positive or negative view of the subject based on who said it and when it was said. How do you know this? Because the likely outcome. What is the likely outcome that the author wants to achieve? That is your because. Okay, so this is that the source was produced by who and when. As such, I will expect a positive view or negative view expression about the subject, because the author wants to achieve this outcome. Okay, I'm sure I've said this already in the previous video about the example of the two student leaders, right? In the student leader A wants student leader B to be elected into the student leadership. Okay, because this was produced during the time of the student elections by student A, who happens to be the best friend of student B, hence I would expect student A to have a positive impression of student B, because he wants student B to be elected into student leadership. Understand? Then the next step, you just talk about what the agenda is. Okay, as such, the agenda, when you talk about agenda, you must use the words convince the audience. So convince the audience to do that what? Convince the audience about what? Okay, that is your main inference. So repeat the inference again. Convince the audience about something in hopes that the audience will do something. So what would they do? And that's the end of your reliability. Yes, the agenda is to convince. The agenda is to convince the intended audience about something. Okay, what is that something? It must be very specific. Because of this message, he hopes that the audience will do something in return. Okay, once the audience are convinced of the message, that is when they will do something. So what would they do? Right? So what kind of things will you see during this time period? Okay, tell me, what type of things will you see? What kind of sources will you see during this time period? What type of sources will have agendas during this period? Yes, what type of sources will have agendas during this period? Yes, so the question now is, what type of sources do you think will come out in this time period? Yes, you will get separation. You will get sources that talk about separation and merger. Okay, yes, you will get sources related to merger after Maria Hertog. Okay, sources related to merger explaining the benefits of different parties. So the agendas are quite straightforward. Okay, you just need to look at who is the person saying this. Okay, this is a time period where people are vying for power. Let me repeat that. This is the time period where governments are not stable yet. People are vying for power and leadership. So any source would be, you will tend to have a lot of campaigns, okay, elections, and during these elections what you will see are the pamphlets. Okay, what you will see are the propaganda posters, the pamphlets, this type of things. So look at the person who is writing it and tell me what is the agenda. It is unreliable because of the agenda. So you must pick out the agenda and tell me what it is. Okay? That is how you do reliability. Any question? Most sources will be about political parties and what they intend to do. Okay, so pick out what is their agenda. Okay, say it's unreliable because of the agenda. Unreliable because of the agenda. Agenda, the motive which makes it biased. A biased source would hence be unreliable. Okay. A biased source would be reliable. Remember this statement. A biased source is unreliable. Okay. Now, can I just have a shout out to who is actually here? Okay, just give me a shout out to who is actually here. Can you type your name? Type your name on who is here. What should I do now? Should I do SPQ again, or should I do the essay? Is vad okay? Is Vadora here? Is Lucia here? Is Lacia here? Yes. So the girls at the back, please, when I'm going through tomorrow, don't give me any problems because I want to do it fast. Because the faster I do it, the faster you can start doing your test. Then the more time you will have, then the better it will be. And don't think that I don't know that you've been eating in class. I can see, okay? So please stop eating in class. So, essay is very simple. Okay, don't worry, the source will be unreliable. Unreliable because it will be because most likely when they test you reliability, they are looking for how you write the agenda, how you write the multi-purpose. O level is the same. Okay, if you take social studies, you take history in O level, most likely the reliability question, the highest mark will be unreliable because they want you to write the agenda. They want you to find out how you know about the agenda and what is the outcome that they want to have of people. Okay, the whole class will not pass. Now, the essay, very simple. It's only merger and separation. One single topic is the reasons for merger or reasons for separation. So if you talk about separation, there's four, right? There's four main things, right? There's Malay rights, there's political representation, there is common market, and there is taxation. If let's say that it asks you about one, choose. Which one will you choose? Okay, you have to choose wisely. So choose the easiest one. I would think the easiest one is about the rights, the taxation, the common market. Okay, these three are quite easy to explain. Okay, every one of these three things, like in the worksheet that I gave you, leads to tensions. Okay, it can either be political tensions or ethnic tensions. Okay, what is tensions caused by? It is caused by unhappiness. It is caused by disappointment. It is caused by people being upset. So thus disagreements led to a lot of tensions, and when there's tensions, there will be riots. If tensions are not taken care of, it will lead to riots, like the 1964 race riots, and thus relationship is strained. Strained relationship will lead to no choice but to separate. Okay, so that's the thing. So let's say you talk about one of the points like common market. Okay, they disagreed over the common market. Yes, essay is being tested, so they disagreed over the common market. Okay, that's your main point. The P, they disagreed over the common market. The E, you just tell me, why did they disagree over the common market? Because initially they agreed to have a common market, right? Initially, both countries agreed on a common market. However, the Tengku realized that the removal of taxation, because the common market removes tax, right? So the removal of the taxation will lead to increased competition for Malay businesses. Correct? So what will happen if there's increased competition for Malay businesses? Malaysians will lose their jobs. Correct? In that the Malaysians may lose their jobs. That is one of the things. Okay, so Malaysians may lose their jobs, or Malay goods will be less popular due to the competition. Okay, so their livelihood is affected. Okay, their livelihood is affected because of this. Hence, because the Tengku knew all these things, he decided to do something. What did he decide to do in order to protect the Malay businesses? Yes, what did Tengku Abdul Rahman decide to do once he knew that the common market will lead to increased competition for Malay business, leading to Malaysians losing their jobs, livelihood is affected? So what did Tengku Abdul Rahman, the PM of Malaysia, do that angered Singapore greatly regarding this common market? Regarding the common market, what did he do? Once he knew that common market will result in increased competition for Malay business, and Malaysians will lose their jobs and their livelihood. So because he knew all these things, he decided to, yes, thank you, Xenophi. Well done. Can I give you a like? No, I can't give you a like. Okay, but anyway, well done, Xenophi. Yes, he delayed the common market. So because of this, right, he delayed the common market. Now, you write down how this affected Singapore. So it is always like this. The Malay action affected Singapore. So as a result, Singapore businesses right, what happened to Singapore businesses? Right, they lost out because the common market, which was agreed, is not formed. Right? Okay, the leaders, how would they feel? How would the leaders feel towards how would the Singapore leaders feel towards the Malaysian leaders? If you agree on something and you go back on your word, how will you feel? Yes, you agree on something, but you go back on your word. So how will you feel? Yes, hatred, disappointment. Good. Okay, I will feel hatred, disappointment, and more specifically, I will feel betrayal. Yes, and these feelings led to political tensions, which eventually led to separation. Okay, this is for common market. Now let's talk about the race. Both countries disagreed. The reason they separate was because of disagreement in the Malay rights. Okay, if you open your textbook, there's actually something else about this. Okay, so why they disagree? Because Singapore was a multiracial society with majority Chinese. Hence, right, Mr. Lee advocated a Malaysia, right, where people have equal rights. Okay, however, the Tengku no. However, Malaysia was majority Malay. Okay, hence the Tengku advocated Malay rights in education, employment, and lastly, business. Okay, this is in order to do what? What is the purpose of giving special rights? What is the purpose of giving these special rights to the Malays? What is the purpose of giving special rights to the Malays? So jobs, yes, I know the special rights is on employment, on education, on business. The impact of these things on the Malays is that what will improve? What will all these things improve? It will improve right, the lives and well-being of the Malays. Correct? Okay, Mr. Lee also wanted to help the Malays. Yes, so all these priorities will help ensure that the Malays will have a better life, a better well-being than the rest of the races. Okay, but Mr. Lee also recognized that the Malays, right, maybe they are lesser off. So Mr. Lee wanted to help the Malays to have equality with everybody else as well. So what did he believe in? Mr. LKY believed right that the Malays could be helped through education and only through education. Yes, equal rights for all, but he believed the Malays should have some help in the form of education so that they can reach the level of the Chinese, because you must understand that the Chinese already had many Chinese schools. They were far more educated than the Malays in Singapore. So Mr. Lee advocated equal rights, but he also advocated that he will help the Malays through education, through providing them a stepping stone in education. However, the Tunku Abdul Rahman say that the Malays should have special rights and privileges in terms of not only education but also business and employment, a reservation of places, business and employment. Okay? Yes, so that's the thing. Yes? So opportunities through Mr. Lee believed the Malays should be helped by giving them opportunities through giving them an education, but Tunku believed that the Malays should be helped not only through giving them free education, but also giving them priority in employment and businesses so that their lives can improve and they can be more well-to-do or improve their well-being more than the other races. Okay, so all these led to a lot of hostilities, or tensions between the races as well as the leadership. Okay, things got so heated up that it led to racial riots. Okay, they led to racial riots, and because of this, they decided that enough was enough. The best way to handle this situation was to separate. Okay, jobs is employment. Okay, don't write jobs, write employment. EMPLOYMENT, employment. Okay. Okay, 11 people. I think we shall call it a night. Unless you have any more questions. Do you have any more questions? Okay, remember, I cannot emphasize enough that for your reliability, when you write the second paragraph, make sure that you write the inference again. Okay? write the inference again. How about next time we use Google Hangout? That way I can talk to you, you can talk to me. Then we can communicate better. Yes, this is essay. Which part of the worksheet do you want me to go through? This worksheet, is it? Okay, I wrote the reliability somewhere here. Yes. So steps 1, answer the question. Student A is not reliable but student B. Because student A tells me that student B is capable as a leader, that's your inference, correct? Correct. Evidence B. This means that student B is well suited as a leader, correct? Yes. Paragraph 2, write the word however, although student A tells me that B is capable, repeat inference again. It is not reliable because of the motive. How do you know there's a motive? You have to tell me about the provenance. This is as is said by student A when during the election period. Hence, I will expect student A, because it is said during the election period, to promote student B's election campaign. Because they're best friends. Hence, then you tell me the motive. The motive is to convince, action verb, the audience selection committee that student B is a suitable choice due to his capability, a full inference. Okay, by doing so, what is the outcome he hopes for the audience? He hopes the audience will accept and appoint student B to the leadership position. Okay, state inference, state reliability because of motive, agenda, state provenance, state expectation due to the provenance, state the reason for this expectation, then state the motive, and finally state the outcome. Okay, so there's quite a bit of steps. So if I can put this into an acronym, I will call this I M PER second paragraph, inference, motive, provenance. Provenance, expectation, reason for expectation, motive, outcome. I am permo. Okay, doesn't sound that nice, but it helps. So the second paragraph, you should have I am permo, inference, motive, provenance, expectation, reason, motive again, fully, and then outcome. So I am permo. Yes, I am permo. That will help you to write the second paragraph for your reliability. Okay. Okay, understand. Any more question? If not, I think we can call it a day. How many questions? There is how many questions are there? There is 4 questions. 4 questions. There is a reliability, there is a comparison, there is an essay which asks you to describe, and an essay that asks you to explain. Okay, so the key thing is time management. More, the key thing is make sure you write the evidence fully, use the whole picture. Okay, I say again, when you see a picture, give your inference by analyzing the whole picture and not just one part of the picture. Okay, and I say again, an inference is not lifting, it's not description, it should be an educated guess. Okay, an educated guess. Educated meaning that you have substantial evidences to back your inference. Okay. So to summarize, the reliability is basically inference first. Answer the question. It is reliable because it tells me about the inference. Okay, then do the whole PEE thing. So RI. After that, second paragraph, then you do again. However, or include the however, please. However, okay, inference is not reliable. HRIM per mole. So it's RIHRIMPERMO. That's how you do reliability in full. RIHRIMPERMO. Okay, it doesn't make sense. But never mind. It doesn't need to make sense. So R meaning reliable, not reliable, because it tells me that what's the inference. Okay, then however, it is not reliable because in telling me about this inference due to the motive, and this motive is because it is produced by who at when, and because it's produced by who at when, I have this expectation, and the reason for this expectation is because of this. As such, the motive of the agenda is to convince the audience to do this, in the hopes that the audience will come up with the outcome, they will do something. Okay? Okay, let me see if I can do it more clearer. Okay. Reliable. Inference. First paragraph is just reliable. Inference. That's all. So second paragraph you must say, however, reliable in telling me about the inference. Okay, however, it's reliable in telling me about the inference because the provenance says these things, and hence I have the expectation and the reason for my expectation and the permo and the motive and the outcome. So RIHRI permo RIHRI. Okay, there's a pattern here. RIHRI. Then permo. The test will be 45 minutes. What do you mean point form? Okay, are you clear? Shall we hear some music before we end the session? Okay, what question? Second paragraph inference. I mean, the first paragraph you write, is not reliable because it tells me that that inference. Okay, so when you write second paragraph, you just repeat that line. So you say it's not reliable in telling me that inference because of the agenda. That's all. Okay, I can infer the source tells me that 2C is smart. That is your first paragraph. It's not reliable in telling me that 2C is smart. So in your second paragraph, you write, however, state inference again. It's not reliable in telling me 2C is smart. Repeat the inference as there is an agenda. That's it. That's all. Okay. Then you write the provenance, the expectation, the reason, the agenda, and the outcome. Yes, that's correct. Do it this way and you will not go wrong. Okay? So the key thing is this. Please repeat. Okay? I will say this again tomorrow before you start the class because this is a very important point. Okay, I believe that I don't need to talk about comparison because comparison is quite straightforward. Okay, if not, I think you should be well prepared already. The 13 of you, 13 of you, you better get A1 tomorrow. Don't waste my time. Expectation is A2, at least A2. So this is upon this is upon 20. Okay, this is upon 20. I expect the 13 of you to get 17 upon 20 tomorrow, please. It can be done. Okay, let's end with a song. Let's end with a song.
Welcome to the Grandstand, a family lifestyle destination. Now
Okay, no, let's end this song. This song is for you, and it says, "Don't let me down tomorrow." So tomorrow, please don't let me down. That's the key. That is the message. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Okay? That is the message. Don't let me down. No woman tea. Okay? Okay, that's the end. Good night. Goodbye. Have fun. Sure, you got other tests as well to study. So go and study other tests, please. And who is Balaji Karanchan? Who is that? Were you from my class? You're from Mr. Chong's class, right? And this Callisto is also from Mr. Chong's class? Good. Next time we'll use Google Hangout. Then you can talk, I can talk, we can all talk. I think it's better. Okay, go and try Google Hangout.